All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the next Command & Conquer Rivals replay request, Blip. If you don't know the name, definitely one of the big pre-release names. Has actually tinkered around a lot with no Harvester decks. And Jeffrey, I know that you're running this in your ladder as well. It's centered around the MG squad. So tell us a little bit about how this is supposed to go.
Right, so the idea with going no Harvester with this deck is to pull out the MG squad and its defense at the same time. Because the problem with MG squad is if you leave it open, they just die too easily. So by going no Harvester, you can pull out something like the War Dogs to defend it right away, get set up, and take control early.
So dogs first, not MG first. The speed of the dogs still kind of you need for the early setup?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to go that way. I've toyed with going both ways, and I think both of them have their pros and cons, but I don't think there's really one right answer.
So this is the crux of it, right? You set up your MG,
Yeah.
you defend it, you take the pads, you win the game.
Exactly, and one interesting thing to note here with this placement of the MG squad is that it is going to be able to fire at that far right hex on that top pad, even though it looks like it's going to go through the missile, but it will be able to fire there. So good placement for that MG squad.
So this is a little curious to me. I heard this, and I only just saw it now. I do have it paused. Don't worry, you're not broken or anything. Down here. Oh no, over there.
Oh, he boosted his Harvester.
He boosted the Harvester. Now, I'm trying to think of why you would boost your Harvester. And the only thing I can think of is, does a boosted Harvester harvest faster?
I can't imagine it does. That's got to be a separate mechanic.
That's... might have been a misclick. I want to say it was a misclick, but now I'm really curious.
Yeah, did he just throw away 30 Tiberium, or was there something more ingenious behind that we're not seeing?
Right? Even the chat. Okay, Jade Zayan says that it does not harvest faster, so that feels bad from Diesel. That does feel bad.
Yeah, it must have been a waste.
So, again, like, with this no Harvester deck, Jeffrey, correct me if I'm wrong, you control the pads, you have a blue, this was a blue, yellow, yellow, so that went over to Blip, and now you just protect the MG, right? That's it.
Pretty much, yeah. So you keep trying to maximize your value with your cheap units, and as long as you charge that first missile quick enough, you put yourself in a position to take the second one. It is pretty challenging. I'm still toying it around with the idea of running a Harvester after the first missile, but I've got about a 70% win rate right now running no Harvester at all, so it seems to be working okay.
Wow, this definitely felt like a bit of a mistake here from Blip. He totally let that Scorpion just waltz in and take down the MG. Turret will come out.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, it's not the worst situation because Blip does have a nice fortified position. He's able to take care of a lot of this armor, but do you replace your MG once you lose it?
You do sometimes. It depends on if the situation allows for it. Like, do you go for just controlling the pads? Because in this case, he's only got the lasers on the bottom right, Diesel that is, and he's pumping out cheap units. And look how close the missile is to going off. I mean, all Blip has to do is take control of the pads and get the missile, and he wins. So, doesn't really make sense in this case, I think, but sometimes it does.
That fist is really not getting a lot of value out of Diesel here up top either. We do got a buggy coming through. Doesn't block the bottom left, so Blip will have 3 yellow. It's not over yet.
That's the important thing with this deck. You got to block. Blocking is critical with success with this deck.
Diesel decided to tech. I mean, that will at least take down those guys very quick. Oh, he can't get on the pad!
Oh, nice!
Where's the buggy going? Where's the buggy going? All right.
Oh, wow. Nice game.
It doesn't feel like
so that
you can tech against this, though.
No, like, you're talking about running tech units, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense because the missiles go off too fast, and the only way you're going to win with tech units is if you know the strategy of the other player. Like, if you know Blip's running a no Harvester deck and he's pulling out MG squads, your best bet with tech units is to pull them out as fast as you can. And the thing is, with this deck, because I run jump jets in mine, which can help pressure Harvesters, if you can do that and you keep them off the pads, they're going to have such a hard time pulling out techs. So, yeah, I feel like tech's just not a good counter for this deck at all.
All right, we'll revisit the no Harvester towards the end here, but Blip is, again, at least in my opinion, one of the guys that really does tinker a lot with the no Harvester. Definitely a master of it. Finds himself winning games in upper Tib, so got to be doing something right. But we're going to take a bit of a, I don't know, shifting of the gears, go over to Mav Mitchell as he has a game up against Anis for us.